Hello and welcome to Epona Healing Ranch, where we're here today on Friday, September 27th to honor the Divinity of Horses and the passing, hopefully, of Bill C-355 in the Canadian Senate to help end the live transport of horses for slaughter overseas. And we're here with our wonderful two mother-daughter Percherons, baby Raven and Mama Mika. And these beautiful horses would be at risk for being shipped live overseas to be slaughtered, and we want to bring an end to that. We do not believe in slaughtering horses for any reason, and we certainly do not want them being shipped live in cruel and dangerous circumstances overseas. And so to honor these horses as high spiritual beings and to honor the value they have to us, aside from functionality or for food, we're going to read a chapter from a book I co-authored, Evolving on Purpose, Co-Creating with the Divine, and I wrote a chapter called The Divinity of Horses. So I'm going to share a little bit about my experience in connecting with horses on a higher spiritual level and honoring them as high spiritual beings. When two great beings, humans and horses, unite in love, the soul of the universe is healed. You are a sister of horses, echoed through the vast landscape of open plains, as my spirit weaved through a herd of wild horses. The whispers of my soul were calling. I was silent. Hi, Rainy. Hi there. Observing from a distance, indulging in the presence of my power. I forgot all will and human resistance. I flowed free and whole with the kinship of my soul. And in a flash, I jolted back to a once familiar place. The walls of my room loomed tall and stern. At first unaware of the strange place, I returned in human form. I could feel the constriction of time and space where just before there had been none. I could feel the weight of my body return where just before I had been one. And so my relationship with horses began not in a barn or in a stable, but in the world of spirit. As I fell asleep, I would leave my body spontaneously. I never had a thought or desire to do so. These experiences unfolded naturally as my energy strengthened, cleared, and aligned. Through my dedication to my own healing, I became an empty vessel, a pure channel of energy. In these out-of-body experiences, I traveled to many realms. I appeared in many guises, and I met many friends. I began to remember who I was and how I was meant to live. One of the great gifts of connecting with the divine is that you reunite with your soul, your true purpose and mission. You begin to see your vision and you understand your calling. At first, my only mission was my own survival, with the will to heal myself and return to the life I once had. But just like the butterfly cannot return to the life of a caterpillar, I could never return to who I was. I had evolved. I was ready to create more energy and space. I had expanded my capacity to be more, do more, and live more. I stepped into my power and became the conscious leader of my life. Since those out-of-body experiences, horses have continued to come to me in dreams. They appear as pillars of light, powerful and serene, guiding me and asking me for help. While I love all animals, I had no desire to be with horses. The horses recognized me before I recognized myself. This is the power of co-creating with the divine. You access the certainty of who you are and why you must do what you were guided to do. In this certainty is a feeling of connection, a security deep within. This connection grounds you in your inner knowing that no matter what happens, you are strong in your power. You begin to feel relief from the stressors of the world. You feel the flow, freedom, and security of your essence of being centered, connected, and conscious. When you are on a path of healing and growth, you remember key moments that changed your life. One of these moments was when I was guided to a horse named Trigger, who would forever change me, connect me with the divine, and set me on my path of healing with horses. In a dream, he did arrive. In his heart, I came alive. On a beautiful autumn afternoon in Toronto, I received a spiritual message telling me to go on a trail ride with horses. I thought I must have heard this incorrectly, as I hadn't been with horses since I was a child. Nevertheless, I listened. I found a horse ranch with public trail rides 1 hour out of the city. I called, "Hello, do you have any horses available for a ride today?" A woman replied, "The last trail ride of the year starts at 5, and it was Friday rush hour and the traffic was jammed." I felt this sudden life or death urgency to get to the ranch. I had no idea how I would get there on time. I sat in my car in the 8 lanes of highway traffic and visualized myself floating to the ranch. While my vehicle didn't move, I felt energy flowing, connecting my heart to the ranch. Someone was drawing me near. I arrived at 4:57 p.m., just a few minutes before the last ride. I was assigned to a horse who looked tired, sad, and sore. Trigger had been waiting for me. The heavy saddle and riding gear seemed like lead weights that would break his back. I followed the instructions of the riding guide and gently climbed on Trigger's swayed back. I should ask for another horse, I thought. But if I ask for another horse, then someone else will probably be assigned to him and inadvertently cause him more discomfort. We began our ride together. Then an interesting thing happened. I started to feel immense joy. A lightness and happiness moved through me as a feeling of deep connection and fulfillment. Was this my joy or the joy from my horse? I wondered. My awakening had begun. When the trail ride was over and it was time to leave, I felt a strong sensation to stay. I watched as the staff took my exhausted horse away. I was filled with deep emotions, frozen in a trance. I felt angry that they would make him carry people on trail rides. I felt guilt and shame that I was one such person. I felt joy and love, wanting to stay with him as he disappeared around the barn. Unbeknownst to me, I had been reunited with one of my soulmates from the divine realm. I had listened to the messages. I honored the urgency of my spirit and took aligned actions. I felt the fullness of my emotions. I centered in my power. I embraced faith and inner knowing. And in so doing, I was guided to the high spiritual being who would heal me as much as I would heal him. After that first fateful meeting, Trigger came to me every night in dreams. Even in my yoga class, his spirit would fill my heart with a visceral pulsing, pulling me to visit him at the ranch. His calling was urgent. I soon discovered why. Yes. After that, I soon discovered why. Getting back to Trigger was difficult. I did not have a car. I was still frail from my own healing. But where there's a will, there's a way. And I found a way to visit Trigger as often as I could. To my great shock and distress, I discovered that my beloved Trigger was about to be shipped to slaughter. I had no idea horse slaughter still existed and was a big business. I had no idea that Trigger knew that the horrific intentions of the ranch 1 year before. It all started to make sense. I understood why he came to me in dreams every night and why I felt our connection was life and death. My intuition and guidance had been validated. One night, Trigger came to me in an especially powerful dream. He had been standing by himself, ignored and neglected. Tears streamed down his face. In utter desperation, Trigger struggled to say, "I hear you have a farm. Take me to your farm." He was as exhausted in the dream as he was in real life. Alone and afraid, Trigger used his last ounce of energy to urge me into immediate action. He knew he had to do everything in his power to escape torture and death. His spirit called out to the one human who could save him, me. At the time, I was returning to the world and creating a new life as a butterfly fresh out of the cocoon. My resources were limited, and I decided to use a new credit card that the bank had just offered. Trigger was my first purchase on my new line of credit. While the small debt of purchasing, transporting, and boarding him and upgrading the barn at my family farm was a big stretch, for me at the time, it saved Trigger's life. Soon enough, I saw how my faith in the divine started turning lead into gold. Saving one horse created a stream of events that soon brought me the greatest abundance, happiness, and purpose of my life. I realized Trigger was the gateway to my soul. Trigger eventually arrived home at my family farm. He began to heal. I had been told he was 36, but horse dealers often give the age of horses maybe 10 years younger, so he was more likely 46. After a vet exam, I was told Trigger was crippled with arthritis, had painful hoof issues, was blind from cataracts, and was dying of organ failure from the toxic anti-inflammatory drugs given to horses to keep them working beyond their capacity. How would I ever help him? My soul cried out. Trigger wanted to live, so I tried. I started healing him with what I knew and understood, Reiki and macrobiotic healing foods. I brought in the support of a farrier and others who would honor our mission. 1 year later, Trigger had regained his vision. His organs, hooves, and arthritis had healed. He reveled in his new body and freedom, running at full speed, bucking, inhaling the fresh, clear winds, and enjoying deep sleeps of pure peace. By using his spiritual powers, sending out an SOS for help, Trigger saved his life. He took a chance on a young woman he had never met and who had really no clue about horses. And he saved my life too. I am forever grateful that I heard his call. Trigger lived out his days with purpose and passion, priding himself in being the protector of the farm and me. When we welcomed a companion horse for him, Our Lady Maggie, their eyes met and it was love at first sight. Lord Trigger and...
So maybe just keep that thought.
All right.
Oh, we're okay. We're good.
Yeah. We can...
Yeah.
When we welcomed a companion horse for him, Our Lady Maggie, their eyes met and it was love at first sight. Lord Trigger and Lady Maggie lived happily ever after in green pastures under star-filled skies, becoming pure love as great pillars of light. Icons of love and peace. Throughout history, horses have been the greatest guide, protector, ally, and companion to humans. Horses have supported our epic journey to connect to our soul and find our way home. Horses have played a pivotal role in creating the lifestyles we take for granted today, including the freedoms we have gained from fighting in wars, the development of agriculture, transportation and land, the creation of sports and recreation, and the advancement of our healing and personal growth. If there is one species who has suffered and sacrificed the most to help the planet and humans evolve on purpose, it is horses. It is time horses are recognized and honored for who they truly are, divine icons of love and peace on earth. Equine-assisted therapy, uniting humans and horses in love. We're in a time of great healing and transformation. The incredible love and light of horses is needed now more than any time in history. And horses need our love and light now more than any time in history. At my horse rescue sanctuary, Epona Healing Ranch in beautiful Rideau Lakes, Ontario, Canada, we rescue horses from slaughter and provide a forever home where they shine their light as healers. We recognize horses as sentient spiritual beings who help us heal, grow, and evolve. With my degrees in animal behavior, psychology, and environmental science, combined with my spiritual relationship with horses and holistic healing with humans, offering equine-assisted therapy and equine healing retreats was a natural progression in my evolution. Equine-assisted therapy has the power to change lives in the moment and create a lasting connection of inner strength and peace. Equine-assisted therapy is an approach to healing and personal development that incorporates the presence of horses with clients who are on a healing path, facilitated by a therapist. The therapist, skilled in psychology and horse behavior, supports clients through individual or group sessions with the horses. Clients have time before, during, and after their sessions with the horses to understand their own transformational experience in achieving goals unique to their individual healing journey. At Epona Healing Ranch, equine healing retreats focus on healing through stillness with the horses, allowing for the deepest energetic connection and transformation by becoming the empty vessel. The Taoist expression from nothingness, all is created, is a founding principle of oneness within oneself and the universe. The power of horses to heal has been scientifically studied by the HeartMath Institute, revealing the electromagnetic field of a horse's heart is 5 times greater than that of a human's heart. Simply standing beside a horse may help one feel rejuvenated, centered, and bring documented health benefits, including relief from stress, anxiety, and trauma. Accordingly, every horse that is saved from slaughter and is given an opportunity to heal has the ability to heal 5 humans. So, 10 horses saved means 50 humans healed. 100 horses saved means 500 humans healed. 100,000 horses saved, 500,000 humans healed. 1 million horses saved, 5 million humans healed. From the simple act of saving horses from slaughter and offering heart-centered healing, horses can help humans and the planet heal and evolve. If humans loved horses the way horses love humans, there would be peace on earth. Divinity lost, humanity's fall from grace. Where do all the old and unwanted horses go when they no longer have a home? Where do the blind and injured rest after they have given humans their very best? After the trophies and shows, after best friend forever is forgotten and sold, where do all the old and unwanted horses go? I wrote this poem to show the hidden plight of horses. In their majesty and grace, horses do not complain. As the true angels they are, they endure silently, hoping, praying that they will awaken the souls of the humans they deeply love, and in so doing, no longer be abused and killed. Millions of horses are needlessly tortured and slaughtered every year worldwide. Horses everywhere on the planet are at risk of being sent to slaughter. Horses who were once a special family member and friend. have brought money, fame, and glory to their owners in sports, recreation, and rodeos, have brought pleasure and healing to children and adults in summer camps, riding lessons, and trail rides. Were born wild and free and have been captured against their will. Were raised for meat, endured daily pain and suffering, and live with deep loneliness and despair in the knowing they will be slaughtered. How has our world come to this? How have humans fallen so low that we kill the divine beings who are here to help us? How has humanity allowed their greatest guide, protector, and ally, their beloved companions and pets, to be treated worse than a widget in a factory? Our treatment of horses reveals how we feel about ourselves. If you do not honor the divinity within you, you will destroy the divinity in all of life. One cannot escape the ancient principles of the universe. Everything that has a front has a back. The bigger the front, the bigger the back. This ancient principle is evident in the cruel way that we treat our horses and therefore ourselves. We are no longer living in the dark ages of medieval times with the low light frequency. Today, no one anywhere needs to eat horse meat. It is time for humans to return to their true role and responsibility as humane, conscious stewards who honor life. It is time to evolve and end horse abuse and slaughter. Ask not what horses can do for you, but what you can do for horses. Horses need our help. Just like Trigger, every horse wants to live their life in health, happiness, and peace, and in divine service to humans and the planet. Just like Trigger, horses do not want to be abused, abandoned, betrayed, tortured, or slaughtered. Just like Trigger's desperate SOS calls, horses are beaming messages daily to the humans who can save them and who they are here to heal. This is how co-creating with the divine works. It is expansive, limitless, inclusive, mutually abundant, and beneficial. Co-creating is always a win-win. Never underestimate the intelligence or spiritual power of a horse. They are telepathic and always know. They meet you where you're at. Horses will dumb down when they have to, and they will share their magnificent glory with you when they know you are ready. We are all brothers and sisters of horses. We are here to unite in love with horses. When you hear their cries for help, when you see their abuse, yes, Raby, oopsie, yes, oh, that's right, Raby. When you feel their love calling you, what will you do? Will you deny the divinity within you and turn away? Or will you embrace your light and choose to love a horse? To be loved by a horse is to enter into a holy realm, a great honor and privilege of deep union with the divine. Few have experienced the ecstatic sensation of being enveloped in the angelic wings of a horse who trusts you and loves you. It is life-changing. To be loved by a horse is to be initiated into the greatest unconditional love of the universe and liberate yourself from the separation, confusion, and sadness of your soul. The time is now for humans to evolve on purpose. We are moving through one of the greatest paradigm shifts in human history. You are needed. The time is now for you to remember the high spiritual being you are, to reclaim your sovereignty, and to honor the divine beings of planet Earth. The time is now to place horses on altars of reverence and to show gratitude for their great sacrifices and their eternal love. It is time. It is time to acknowledge and celebrate the Divinity of Horses. So we urge you to sign the form, the auto form that we will be providing, that will send a letter to your senator to finally pass this bill, Bill C-355, to end the live transport of horses to slaughter. They all deserve better, and we are all better than slaughtering horses.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Did you want to share any of your experiences with listening to the messages of horses?
Sure.
Shall we
What
come
should we
around?
do? Okay. What are we doing?
You're going to share your experience?
Okay, we're switching it around.
Yeah.
I kind of started crying a little bit there, so I have a bit of snot. Hang on. When you were sharing your story. Okay. I can share a time when I was doing a program where we were leading horses around obstacles in an equine assisted learning environment. And so I was very busy at the time, and I was already thinking about where I was going to be after this afternoon. And there was a moment when the horse started nudging my belly. And the facilitator was asking me sort of, that could be a hint or a clue that there's something going on. Horses will show us our feelings. They will get us in touch with ourselves. And I said to her, yes, I'm so busy and I'm already thinking about where I'm going to be. And so we continued doing our exercises. And then all of a sudden, I felt the horse nudged my head, sort of again bringing me back into the present. And then by the time he touched my feet, I was crying because this horse had just brought me back to the present. Wow. So that is the power of horses. They require us to be in the moment, right? By the being that they are. And us being the busy humans, we're always planning and preparing and thinking and all of this. But life is happening right now, and that's where the horses are. And that's why horses are so important. To me, I love horses, and that's why I'm here. Thank you, Lidia.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And when we're in the present moment, when we enter into the stillness of our being, then we can create sacred space and see new possibilities to the problems and the challenges of our lives. Mm-hmm. And horses help us, ground us in that sacred space. They're the keepers of sacred space. And so I'll just read a couple of steps for anyone interested in co-creating with the divinity of horses and with their own higher divinity. I did allude to it in the chapter, but very briefly, the 7 steps to co-create with the divine and with the divinity of horses is listen to the messages. The messages are always coming in and they're always speaking to you. We just want to be open to listen to them. The second step is to honor and value the importance of these messages, of your spirit, that your spiritual existence is part of your eternal existence. It's greater than the mind. The third step is to feel the fullness of the emotions that come through when you listen to the messages and you value them and your spirit. The fourth is to center in your power and connect with your clarity. The fifth is to embrace your faith and inner knowing. And the sixth is then to act on that. So when Trigger came to me with the messages and I was new to all of that channeling and that, co-creating with the divine, I took action. Even though I may have not had all the resources, maybe I didn't have all the support, but one step at a time, I took aligned actions. And the seventh step is trust. Trust in your journey. Trust that you are here to create a valuable contribution just by being you, and that there is no insignificant action. You create miracles for all, often unbeknownst to yourself, when we follow the guidance of the divine. So I welcome everyone to come out and join us for equine assisted therapy and equine healing retreats. And let's get this bill passed and take a powerful step forward towards ending horse slaughter in Canada.
Thank you so much, Lydia. Upon a Healing Ranch.
Thank you.